It's a cold morning, isn't it? Hey? I see you've left your jacket on. You've finally learned. Tess is 12 at least. I think she's 12. She just had her birthday. And she's getting old, but she hates being inside. If you put her inside, she whinges and whines and wants to go out, no matter how cold it is. So we just didn't know how to help the little lass. So we have put a coat on her. Now, when she was younger, we tried coats. I don't know how many thousands of dollars of things she's ripped up. But yeah, we've got this beautiful, big, comfy double mattress for these big girls. And she's got a coat, and that blanket's one of those old grandma's scratchy. Do you remember those? Go near grandma's and like one of the layers on the bed would have like a scratchy blanket. Super warm. Warmest blanket you have ever had. But really scratchy and itchy, so you like had to have a sheet between it and you, but it kept you super warm. So we've got a few of those that a friend of ours gave us, and we gave one to the dog. She said that was okay, by the way. She was totally happy for that. She loves animals. Thanks, Natty. But yeah, look, she kept her coat on. I don't see even a chew mark. She used to just rip them off and tear them up so you couldn't even put them back on her. And she slept like a log by the look of it. Are you sleeping like a log? Oh, big stretch. And Luna was, I don't know whether you've noticed in some of the videos, she's quite annoying being a baby. So Luna was in a separate area last night just to give Tessa a bit of a break. And now she's been happily chewing her bone next to Tessa because she's missed her overnight. Oh, I don't know if you watch our videos, somewhere in most of our videos you can see Luna hunting for bones and or chewing bones. She loves them, and there's loads of them around here. I'm going to start getting ready for today. Good morning everyone, and welcome back to Honeybee Farmstead. I'm Mel.
I'm Jackson. And I'm Grace.
And we're down at the bus stop waiting for the bus, for the kids to get on the bus. And we've got a big day today, so welcome and thank you so much for joining us. I've got to milk Deirdre when I've finished dropping the kids off, and we're gonna do some other little things around the place, so come along with us. The kids are on the school bus now, and hear that sound? That's me towing our rubbish bin up the driveway. Kind of lazy, huh? But ingenious tip, if you do live a long way from where you deliver your bin, hook the rail onto your tow ball and tow it up. I'm going gently because I don't think the bin should move at high speed. I don't think they're built for that. So yeah, it's going to be a busy day today. I'm going to make onion relish. One of my beautiful viewers out there has asked for more videos about preserving food and that sort of stuff. It's all well and good I grow it and I collect it and all that sort of stuff, but she said she wants to learn more about preserving food. So I've got a heap of onions from the shop. They're really cheap. They were reduced because obviously getting towards the end of their life, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my first video on that. I'm going to make a really nice caramelized onion relish and put jars and jars of it up in my cupboard and show you guys how to do that. So I hope you enjoy that.
Hey guys, and welcome back to Honeybee Farmstead. Today I'm with Mum.
He's a joker. We've already done an intro for this video, so.
Oh, okay.
Brock is about to go up and help Alex. They're going to cut up some animals that we have processed. I'm going to do that in a separate video because I know there are people out there that don't want to see that, and that I totally respect that. But we are a working farmstead and we do process our own food. So I will create a video for those of you that want to see it. I'll make sure I label it appropriately for those that don't want to see it. Just skip that one and go to one of our other many videos, okay? Firstly, I've got to pour off the milk, and then we're going to get cracking on preserving all of these onions. They were going really cheap at the shop, and that quite often happens here when the shop thinks that they're about to go off. But I felt them all, they're rock solid, they feel really good. If there are any gross ones in there, we just toss them. Caramelized onion relish. I have a really large pot here. I'm a mum of 5, and so I've always cooked in a large pot. This is a really super easy recipe. It is brown sugar or dark brown sugar, balsamic vinegar. I just got a cheap balsamic vinegar. So I've got to begin the massive and arduous task of chopping these onions. I think what I'm going to do to make my job a bit easier is I'm going to chop 50% of them in the Thermomix, and then I'm going to chop 50% of them by hand, so you've still got that onion ring looking look to your relish. So off I go. I did hear a little trick once that you can breathe through your mouth and not your nose, and you don't get the tears thing. I'm just going to use this box to put all the empty onion skins and that in, and then I'm going to put them in the bottom of one of my empty garden beds before they get filled with all the soil, and they'll just be broken down by all the microbes and bugs under, and just add things to the soil. You guys, I'm only a couple of onions in, and I don't think the open mouth technique is working. So I was told that by a friend, just open your mouth and breathe through your mouth, not your nose. But that is not working for me. I think it's the fumes actually just travelling up into my face. Now last night when Brock made dinner, oh God, it's killing me. He used some swimming goggles and breathed through his mouth, and we reckon that was okay. But cutting all these onions up is going to wreck me. If you guys have any old wives' tale ideas of how to stop the onions burning your eyes, please comment below. That is still something that I'm looking for help with, because we use loads of onions. They're packed with vitamin C, so we use them a lot in our home. Oh gosh! I breathed through my nose accidentally when I was sniffing, because it's got my nose running and everything. Oh, it's going to be worth it. This onion relish is going to be amazing. But I think I might take a quick break and go and see how the boys are going up in the cool room and the processing room. And then I'll come back and I'll quickly chop all these. Alright, I've had to turn the light on because it's got all grey and dark and rainy outside, which is great because now we've got the tanks all hooked up. We'll be catching every drop of it. So today the recipe calls for olive oil, but I did want to quickly say this is a preserving video pretty well, and this here is a massive jar of like goat lard. I don't know what that's called actually. I looked everywhere and I couldn't find the name for it. Tallow is when you render down beef fat, lard is when you render down pig fat, and you've got obviously duck fat that you can do as well. They just call that duck fat. But I just wonder if anyone knows what it's called when you render down goat fat or sheep fat, because I couldn't find that information anywhere. Anyway, the reason I'm talking about this is that this is another huge way to preserve. When we process an animal, we believe very heavily that as part of the respect for that animal and the life that it gave to nourish us, that we should use every single part of that animal. We should show, like, pay homage to that animal. So we make sure we do that very much so. So this has been rendered down. Basically it's a very easy process. You take all the meat off the fat, put it in a slow cooker, put it on low overnight, and it'll melt down. Then you just strain it to get any little solids that might be in there out, and so it's pure. It should go, it's pure white, there's nothing in it, and it's shelf stable. So we've actually been using it, you can see here. We use it if we need to cook anything or whatever. It's kind of like shortening. It just adds heaps of flavour. It's pretty awesome. So that's another way to preserve. We also make sure that we take the gut that you can't really use for anything. We haven't learned how to clean the intestines out to use them for sausage skins, but we are going to learn that. But in the meantime, we put the skin or the fleece and the bone, like the bones and stuff that we don't use, go to the dogs for food. And then we put all the other stuff that we can't give the dogs into a hole to grow a fruit tree on, and it helps to nourish the ground and the fruit tree as it's growing. but we use pretty much everything in the animal. So all the offal that we don't eat, like I eat lamb's fry, it's excellent for iron intake, but if I don't use the offal, like I don't use the lungs, and the kids have eaten the heart before fried, but if they don't happen to use it, then that gets minced up. And then I actually cook fresh food for my dogs, so they're getting all that nutrient as well. And it's being used the entire animal. So we make sure we do that. Nothing goes to waste, and everything is able to be used. All right, I'm going to keep cutting and crying and cutting and crying. So enjoy. Another kilo. I'll tell you at the end exactly how many kilos I did. Yeah, doing it in bulk is, onions, I've become immune. So, not crying anymore. And look at all those onions. So, I reckon I could keep going. Best way to become immune to onions, I reckon. And that's how easy it is. The hard part was chopping the onions, but mate, I'm immune to all of those fumes now. Like I'm sitting near the board and I'm not even crying. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that works next time I go to cook. I don't know if that works. I've saved this stuff that I did at the beginning in the Thermomix that's all too small. I'm still going to use it. I'm going to put it in the recipe, but I'm going to wait till I've caramelized all of the long strips, because this won't take very long to cook down. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Got a long way to go. We've got to keep going, but we're going to chop some more onions, because it's time to add some more onions and sweat them down and get them caramelizing too. Because it's going to be cooked down, I'm going to put them in as rocks. I'm not going to bother grinding them. They will dissolve down into there. I've already put a heap of pink salt in there, so I'm only going to do 4 of the 6 because I've already done 2 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am going to actually add some mustard seeds to this onion relish. I think it really really pops with that. And I've got a ton of them. I use mustard loads in lots of my preserves and stuff, especially pickles. So I'm going to add some mustard to it, but I'm going to put the recipe that I use below, minus all the things that I decide to add to it, okay? I will, yeah, you can change it however you like, but this is a basic caramelized onion recipe. So yeah, change it any which way you like. And if you do find something that's really awesome that you think that I might like added into it, please comment below. I had considered maybe doing some chili flakes. I guess you could do anything. And also with the pepper, I thought you could probably even do like a pepper mix, like green pepper and black peppercorns. That would be cool too. But yeah, you could change it any which way you like. I'm keeping it fairly basic today because a basic one means basically that you can add whatever you so desire to it. So I'm going to keep stirring and wait for that to go gelatinous, and then I will show you guys the final product before we start jarring. Noah's behind me now washing all the jars out, and then we're going to have them like rinsed with boiled water so that they're sterilised 100% and ready to go. That is a big and very important part of preserving if you're going to put it on a shelf and keep it shelf stable. This will stay shelf stable for, well, I will use it even well after a year, but on the recipe it says 6 months. In the fridge it'll last a lot longer, obviously. And if you are in doubt, the best thing to do with anything preserve wise is to just put a light layer of oil over the top if you were worried about it, because oil seals from any bacteria and things like that. Hope that helps someone. So we're ready for the last part of the process, and that is to add in the vinegar and the sugar. Now you'll see that just before I poured the vinegar over the sugar, it's made like a thick sort of syrupy thing. It helps to dissolve the sugar and just speed up the process we're looking for here. So I'm going to add all that to Now this last one that we just did wasn't hot enough that it will seal, and it's just the leftovers of, I did 11 jars, so that's pretty awesome. That's probably almost one a month, but I'm going to put this one straight in my fridge. This is going to get used first because it's not hot enough to have pop the seal down and preserve it, and also we want to get using it straight away. But these ones here will be shelf stable once the seal has popped down. It's completely done. I hope you guys enjoyed that. How cool was that? I hope you enjoyed it. I know that I'm going to really enjoy that lovely caramelized onion relish. It also means that those onions got used up. They can now sit in my cupboard for as long as I need to use them. They'll go amazing on a charcuterie board with like salamis and smoked hams, and I might even get to do prosciutto. That takes quite some time. But yeah, the aim is to just do all our own food. So I'm even going to be making cheese soon. Obviously there's a load of different ways to preserve food. That was just one that we showed you today. I will do as many of them as I do in the home as I do them, and I'll put videos out for you guys. Yeah, let me know if you like that and what you thought, and if you cooked it and how it went and things like that. All up, I think that took me probably about 4 hours, and that's because I did an extra big batch. I think it would take you a lot less time. The biggest part of it for me was reducing down the onions to get all the liquid off, especially because I thermomixed those first lot, and you know, they release a lot more liquid. So that actually was the biggest chunk of time, and it didn't mean that I had to stand by the pot, but I did have to be in the house. So, but that's fine, because look at today. It's a really dreary, yucky day, and it just feels cold, and I just want to be on the couch in front of the fire. So it was a great day to make a caramelized onion relish. Thank you so much for the suggestion, Kylie. I really enjoyed doing it, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thank you so much for joining us. Put in the comments below if there's anything else you want to see me do as far as homesteady things, and if I'm able to, I'll do them straight away. If I'm not, I'll definitely do them, but at some point in time. Thank you for joining me. I hope that the weather's not this bad where you are. If it is, stay inside, stay warm. A nice cup of chai latte. Perfect. Thanks for joining us, guys. Click the like button, subscribe if you haven't, share with your friends, and comment below. Until the next video, bye for now.